Are you in the right headspace to receive information that could possibly hurt you right now? Hi, welcome back to Animal Bites, where we tell you what Disney, Animal Planet, and Bill Nye, thumb wrestling Neil deGrasse Tyson won't tell you. How we doing today, folks? We've got a newcomer to the stage today. How you feeling?
I'm here.
Cool.
I don't know what happened. I was on the corner waiting for the bus, and I woke up in the back of a van. So, please don't hurt me, and you can take my wallet.
That's great. We're not going to go for the wallet. We're actually going to go for what's inside your mind, man.
Oh, God, another one of these trips. I knew that ass would come back to me from college.
Oh. It's coming back to you a little late. Bit of a delayed reaction.
He's calling you old.
No, I'm not calling him old. I'm saying it's been a while since college.
Yeah, the bit of information, the bit of advice I can give you is never trust a guy's drugs who calls himself Lestat. Degenerates.
I was gonna say don't trust the guy with the half mustache.
I mean, I was gonna say
it feels like a personal attack.
I was gonna say don't trust the weird looking alien cat with halos around his ears that wants you to sign a contract, but I don't think anybody's ready for that talk.
That's just a side quest. You know, you're looking at it wrong.
I already had that acid trip, so I think we're all good.
That entire anime was an acid trip.
That was an anime?
Yeah, Madoka Magica.
That's some weeb shit, so we're just gonna go ahead and move on. So,
all right, welcome to Animal Bites, where we talk about weebs and animus. But speaking of weebs, animus, and hentai, we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite subject, the cooter.
Today we're going to be talking about cooters.
I've never met a cooter that I didn't like.
Oh, no, you have. Well, I know you have.
Oh.
Well, you know.
Ouch. So we're going to be talking about some cooters that you don't want to stick your fingers in.
I mean, I like the cooter, but what was attached to it was the problem.
This is going to be such a hard topic to get through without laughing.
Animal Bites, everybody. All right. So, but remember I said a long time ago that if I ever became a forest ranger, I will not retire unless I get the chance to go up to an 8-year-old boy and say, put the cooter down, son.
Put the cooter down. I said put the cooter down.
Put the cooter down.
Put the cooter down. So, for our folks at home who don't know what a cooter is,
including our newcomer DA,
just Google it. Just Google cooter. Just Google
it. Okay, so first off, a river cooter or
just make sure safe search. Make sure safe search is on.
Do it on your work. Make sure you search river cooter on your work computer. All right. So the river cooter, or Pseudodemus consina, is actually a turtle, a freshwater turtle that is native to central and eastern United States. They actually kind of look like normal. You could probably like confuse them with everyday normal turtles, but
just picture a turtle.
Just picture a turtle, even though they're not the same as turtles, but I mean they are turtles, but they're not the same as your normal turtle,
when the average American thinks of a turtle, a red-eared slider is one of the more likely images that are going to come to mind. So they are a similar body shape and plan, just with different what's-he-doos and color-he-hoos.
This is a river cooter. As you can see on your screen, except for the guys, as what you can see on the screen, this is a river cooter. Look at him. Look how cute and cooter he is.
Oh, I'm looking up cooters, and red-haired cooters, trust me, this is what I'm familiar with.
This is why
safe search on. Fuck.
This is why I'm in charge of the display capture, and you two fucks are not.
Because trust me, you wouldn't want us Googling cooter.
So anywho, what also is interesting about the river cooter is not only is it native to the central United States, but it's also like least concern. So it really has no what do you call it? Protection against it. That doesn't mean you can go out and start,
Passenger pigeoning them.
oh god, yeah. But it also doesn't mean you can pick them up as pets. A lot of states in the Midwest have a lot of really weird exotic animal laws, especially when it comes to picking up animals out of the wild and keeping them as quote pets.
And you'd be surprised against the laws of having turtles as pets in North America.
Dude, Illinois, they have this really weird fucking law where it's just like, hey, you can pick up an animal, or if you can catch like a toad or a turtle or whatever in the wild, you can keep them as a pet, but if they're pregnant, you have to let the babies go.
Yeah. It's a strange law.
Illinois is weird.
Side note.
I mean, that's kind of like it's kind of like our adoption system if you think about it.
Oh.
Now, the mating habits of a cooter, DA, I'm pretty sure you're very familiar with that.
I am super familiar. It's one of my favorite animals. And actually, knowing this law that you can catch a cooter and you can keep it, I'm stocking up on chloroform and rags at the pharmacy. And next time I go Tinder, yeah.
Oh my god!
Catching me a cooter.
He's gonna be catching cooters all day long.
He's gonna be catching more than cooters if he does that.
I don't know what else he'd be catching.
I'll give you a hint.
Can you please explain that to me, my friend?
80% of koalas have it too.
Oh, we're talking about chlamydia.
What?
You didn't know that? You can catch chlamydia if you have sex with people.
Chlamydia?
Well, yeah, I know that, but I didn't know pandas had chlamydia. How do you find out that pandas have chlamydia?
Koalas.
No, koalas. I'm sorry, koalas. How do you find out?
Because it hurts when they pee. No, that's
well, no, I get that, but what horny lab tech found that out? It's like I haven't been with anyone in a while, and it was a lonely night at the observatory, and
it was so squishy.
I like how
little Shanghai. She was just looking like a snack, and now it burns when I pee.
Okay, first off, that's gonorrhea. Second, I like how the lab in Australia that's studying koalas now has a southern hick drawl.
He was from Kentucky.
A zoo in Kentucky, even though no zoo in North America can support a fucking koala.
I mean, they have in points in times. It's just real fucking expensive.
Yeah, because koalas are fucking stupid.
I mean, we could get into that conversation. They are really fucking stupid.
This is like a pro animal podcast, and you're already throwing shade at animals. I'm thoroughly confused here.
From a scientific standpoint, koalas are fairly unintelligent. They're smooth-brained animals. For example, a koala can eat eucalyptus leaves off of a tree. However, if you were to just take a pile of eucalyptus leaves and put it in front of a koala on a plate, the koala's brain would not understand that is food.
So I'm guessing they're lacking object permanence.
Yeah, probably, honestly.
They'll drink water out of a water bottle from a biker.
Oh yeah, they'll do that.
But
they understand water.
If you literally hand them a fucking leaf that you can pull a eucalyptus leaf out of a koala's mouth, hand it back to him, and he won't recognize it as food.
They're not smart. Oh, side note, I just want to bring this in there. That chlamydia that koalas carry, luckily, is not transferable to humans.
Oh, well, thank God. I mean, that frees up my weekend. I was thoroughly concerned there for a minute. Like,
Oh no. Oh boy.
Okay, so
Jeez.
going back to the river cooters, they are similar
Oh,
to
we're going back to cooters?
well, you always come back to cooter. I mean, you could try anything else, but at the end of the week, you know, cooter's just there. Cooter's where it's at.
So they are similar to red-eared sliders, but and-
They are.
Yes.
actually it's interesting because like males will actually use their claws to flutter at the face of a larger female. So literally these guys will go up to a fucking female and just start bitch slapping her. And that's how
It's what it looks like.
it's literally what it looks like. He just starts like playing the drums on her face. And she releases like a pheromone, and that's how they reproduce.
Well, no, there's more to it than that. There's cloacas involved and all that, but
Well, yeah, I mean,
like
they don't obviously reproduce by just slapping the fuck out of each other, but I mean, like, they're.
you got to the tie on the door and you didn't go any further.
I don't want to go any further. If the socks, if the door has a sock, then you should probably knock. All right.
Use a sock?
So mating takes place in the early spring.
I still can't get past the fact that they beat each other up as a show of affection. It's
You
like,
want to talk about animals that beat each other up? Let me introduce you to Tasmanian fucking devils. You want to talk about
Like,
the
that's
BDSM of the animal kingdom?
that's not the BDSM. That's like the Chris Brown of the animal kingdom. Is what up, baby? Let me slap you around a little bit, get you in the mood.
No, if it was the Chris Brown of the animal kingdom, then
Where are you going with this?
Rihanna wouldn't have pressed charges, and she just beat him. She just beat his ass back, and then he'd run away while she had his babies.
Well, maybe
and then
she
she'd make
was a
her
red.
babies
Maybe
fight to the
she was.
death.
Maybe she was a red slider and just wasn't down for that. What the
Not a
cooters
red
are
slider,
into.
the red cooter. The red cooter. Sorry, the cooter and the slider
The
are two
red
different
cooter?
things.
Y'all are getting fucking confused.
Well, that's what I'm
here.
saying. He's a cooter. She's a red slider. That just wasn't meant to be. You know, they were in a place that, you know, what was that song?
Oh.
Love Can't Survive, or whatever the hell it was.
Hold on, I'm dying. Hold on.
I mean, at least you know their mating. At least their mating doesn't require like Jello or like lewds.
I like how Bud had an entire list of all of our topics, and we're talking about domestic abuse.
Now we're talking about domestic abuse. We jumped onto BDSM for a second. I'm also seeing if it's possible for red-eared sliders and river cooters to hybridize, and fucking A, it turns out they can.
Sounds about right.
I'm sure they give birth to adorable baby cooters.
The result is
red cooters.
The result is actually a really pretty turtle.
Really?
Yeah.
What page are you on? I can show the audience.
Here, let me.
All right.
I'll just send you the image. But yeah, so they can hybridize, that's fun. I'll just send it to the group chat right there. And so I'm also going to, while I'm in the group chat, I'm going to take a look at the topics that we had actually listed. Oh, okay. So up next on the list after cooters, I had unless you want to touch back on cooters, do you want to touch some more cooters?
I am all about touching the cooters, but sometimes you got to back off a little bit and work your way around the rest of it, and leave the cooter. You know, give it some space, give it some time to breathe, let it ferment a little bit.
Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. I am going to show I'm going to show the audience what a hybridized red. What do you guys want to call it? A red cooter? What do they call it?
A red cooter, a red-eared cooter.
The red-eared
A red-eared cooter.
That is a
That
red-eared
sounds hot.
cooter. You can't see it because Bud decided to give me the smallest goddamn image possible. But yeah,
It's
there it
terribly
is.
quality, isn't it?
I mean, he's beautiful,
Just
but yeah.
for our viewers at home, if you do, make sure the safe search is on.
Oh my god.
Because redheads are a very prominent group on Pornhub.
Oh my god. So anywho,
Not that I would know from experience.
Speaking of Pornhub, let's talk about Carl Akeley.
Wow, that was an uncomfortable segue.
No, I'm not letting you go any further with whatever the fuck you were going to do. You tarnish the name of this man.
I mean, is this man on a list somewhere?
No.
Oh no,
Well,
he's on a list, but
he's on a list of fucking badasses.
Really? I mean, okay, to be fair,
What?
do you Hey, DA, do you know how Carl Akeley died? Playing Oregon Trail and lost.
Like the real Oregon Trail, or like the early Windows edition?
It was Oregon Trail in Africa, and he lost. So that's how he died.
He got malaria. He got fucking.
It wasn't malaria. The Oregon Trail.
It wasn't malaria. It was dysentery.
It wasn't dysentery.
It was dysentery.
Hang on.
Okay, he shit his brains to death. That's the only like we're quibbling about the title. He shit himself to death. That's a full stop. That's it.
He shit himself to death.
Oh shit.
So that's
No, he fucking died of dysentery.
Holy cow. That's a terrible way to go.
No, it's very unfortunate. But okay, aside from his unfortunate death, Carl Akeley was a absolute badass. He is often referred to as the father of modern taxidermy. He perfected the sculpting around a form method. Instead, before him, taxidermy was mostly just taking an animal's hide and then shoving straw and various things inside of it to get a half-assed form. And then under Carl Akeley, we have the methods that we do now.
Huh.
And that is how you get the bad taxidermy lion.
Oh no. Tell me you have some.
No.
Listen.
We have to show the audience bad taxidermy lion. This lion literally dead ass has a sign on him that says this taxidermy specimen was removed as it is zoologically improbable and possibly terrifying to children, which is also what my tagline on Tinder says. But here is
it's true. True.
Here is taxidermy lion. Ta-da!
Well, while we're looking at bad taxidermy lion, can we also look at bad taxidermy koala? Because we were talking about koalas just a moment ago.
Taxidermy
I just sent
koala.
I just sent it.
Oh my god. What the hell is this?
He's so smiley. He's so smiley.
This is my university's koala specimen. We call it the meth koala.
Oh dear God, that is definitely from Florida.
I don't know if that's from Florida, but
that koala is definitely from Florida.
I love him.
No lie.
I love him. Okay, so anywho,
Carl Akeley.
Carl Akeley saved us from bad text from meth koala and zoologically improbable lion.
Improbable lion.
So, oh my god.
Carl Akeley perfected modern taxidermy methods, and he transformed taxidermy into an absolute art form. A couple of his pieces in places like the Field Museum in Chicago and the American Museum of Natural History in New York.
And the Smithsonian in DC.
That as well. And so one of my favorite pieces from him is a diorama involving white-tailed deer and...
Wait, did you say white-tailed deer?
I said white-tailed deer, you fucking degenerate.
I mean, technically it's not far off. You know. The taint is white. I mean, it's a little bit more.
Okay, so what was it?
We're cutting hairs at this point.
Carl Akeley.
It's called Four Seasons, and him and his also badass wife work together on it, creating thousands of individual leaves, also taxidermizing small animals for all of the seasons, birds, toads, even insects in some of them. And it is now prominently on display in the Field Museum, and it is
so
it's
this
an
right
art.
here. This is 4 seasons, so this is the winter season. I'm assuming this is this is spring. Spring. That's still winter. I can't find the other 2 seasons.
Oh. Well, it's in Chicago, so there you go.
Right. Also, this is Carl Akeley's muskrat display at the Milwaukee Public Museum. Now, what's interesting is that this is actually one of the very first animal dioramas. He didn't invent the animal diorama, but he was one of the pioneers for animal dioramas.
Absolutely. And
so, did his wife die of the poop disease too?
No, his wife. I actually am not sure of how his wife died. Let me actually.
Has she died?
No,
oh God,
she's definitely dead.
Dude, both of them were born in like the 1800s.
Huh.
Oh, she's straight up dead.
Yeah, she's dead.
It was. Oh my God, she
What?
died. She died at 95.
What?
Yeah. She simply passed of old age.
So what you're telling me is that taxidermy is a form of necromancy, and she was extending her life unnaturally by sucking the souls out of these creatures.
It seems like it at this point, yes. And so I remember Delia Akeley was there for her husband's burial, and Carl Akeley was buried it was somewhere in the Congo.
Yeah.
He was buried on a mountaintop in, I believe, somewhere that's now home to gorillas.
Yeah. Oh no, he was an advocate. Okay, what I find ironic about Carl Akeley is the fact that he deadass went to the Congo to see if killing gorillas for taxidermy specimens was like good or not. He's like, I shall kill them to save them. Yes. And then he's like, maybe I shouldn't kill them to save them. And then he became an advocate for gorillas.
He was towards the end of his life. He was museum collection back then had to have been a thing because they didn't have specimens for museums, and there is, unfortunately, you do have to get specimens for museums at times. Nowadays, we're much more humane about it. We wait for either natural or unnatural deaths via animals like roadkill and things like that, and then we use those specimens for taxidermy.
Well, I mean, that makes sense because you're not going to find like gorillas as roadkill, and even if you did, you don't want the tire tracks to be showing through when you put them on display at the Smithsonian.
Yeah, and so
I mean, that's how the it wasn't the Quagga, it was the Po'oli. It was the Po'oli. I think it was the Po'oli. The Po'oli. No, it was the Caribbean monk seal. I don't know what I was doing. The Caribbean monk seal went extinct. Mostly due because of hunting, but actually what actually tipped the scale on their extinction was scientists were all like, yes, they're endangered. We need to kill, maybe one so that we can preserve it, taxidermy it, because they're super endangered. What if they go extinct? Okay, that's only one Caribbean monk seal. But there was also like hundreds of fucking scientists that said that. So hundreds of monk seals kind of died in the name of science to, ironically, preserve the species.
Listen, I mean, museum collection is completely clean and honorable.
Nowadays, yeah, but back then. Basically, what we're telling you is support your local museum because they did come a long way, and you can learn about, saving animals through looking at dead animals.
I mean, with where we're going with with cloning, it's possible we could bring them back and,
Dude, the Quagga. Have you heard of this? Bud, have you heard of this? The Quagga Project?
Technology seems to not be my friend.
No. There's a thing called the Quagga Project, and it was started by this guy called Reinhold Rau, and he's basically breeding zebras into quaggas. Like
Reverse engineering quaggas, essentially.
He's reverse engineering quaggas, yeah. And he's actually trying to bring them back. I mean, they will not be the same because genetically they're super different. But he's bringing them back cosmetically. They're called they're not called quaggas, they're called Rau quaggas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which it's really cool. And so the species he's using brush-shelled zebras, I believe. And they're the genetically closest to quaggas.
Yeah.
Also, I said technology wasn't my friend a moment ago because I cut out. Like, it dropped me from the call.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. That's the reason I went quiet.
Who didn't notice?
Oh. Yeah. And so, quaggas are, picture a zebra, but then take, like, from the neck down and just make it, like, solid brown.
Quagga.
Quagga. It's a real cool looking real cool looking animal.
The only picture I can give you is a drawing because the only photograph only one quagga was photographed alive, and it was in black and white because it was in the 1880s. But I can give you a taxidermy quagga.
Oh god! Wait, there's actually a taxidermy. Oh, okay, I know the one. Yeah.
Taxidermy quagga. And there's a million things you haven't done, but it's too late. It's too late.
It's really interesting that when you Google quagga.
This is a quagga. What?
It's really interesting when you Google quagga now. A lot of the photos are from this project.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Look at that. Look at those are Rau quagga. That is a normal quagga. Those are different types of quagga. Where the fuck are the Rau? There we go. Rau quagga. I think that actually looks photoshopped as fuck. I can't tell. Internet. But yes, quagga. They're called quagga because apparently the noise they made went because we as human beings name animals after their sounds, like
Pokemon.
Oh my god! Oh no!
It's gotta catch them all, but instead it's gotta bring them all to extinction.
Oh god!
I mean,
try some of that.
Back to Carl Akeley, because I wanted to talk a little bit more about how much of a fucking badass he is.
All right, fine. Talk about
what?
I want to get to this topic that you wrote down. This other topic you wrote down. So, keep talking about Carl Akeley.
Yes. So Carl Akeley, and we're going back to museum collection here for a moment, and two really cool stories. So in the Field Museum in Chicago, there is a piece of two bull elephants fighting, and so that was done by Carl Akeley, and so it's well recorded that the larger elephant was actually taken down by his wife. And I've always really liked this fact because I kind of enjoy the fact that he wasn't like, oh yeah, I took down the bigger elephant, and he's like, no, that was Delia.
Hold on,
she did that.
Okay, first off, one, everybody please do not kill elephants. Two, seriously, this right here, that was done by Carl Akeley.
The bull elephants fighting?
Yes. Huh?
Yep.
Oh my god. That's pretty fucking cool.
Right?
I mean, it's sad that they had to kill elephants, but that's been there like my entire life. Oops, what did I do?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's been there for a hot minute, and it's a wonderful piece.
wow.
And then another one of my favorite stories when he was in Africa collecting specimens, that he was tracking down a leopard, and so I forget what happened, what the circumstance leading this up. I think he may have wounded it, and so the leopard got away. And what the thing is, when you wound a leopard and it gets away, it's usually coming back to end your existence. And so
As it should
Carl,
be.
so the leopard came after Carl, and he managed to fight off a fucking leopard with his bare hand and killed it.
Oh.
And then, I mean, yeah, but it was already injured. And
Yeah, because he injured it.
Oh, this poor animal. I should put it out of its misery. You shot it.
listen.
Nature's just taking its course.
I wanna set aside the
You
fact
made
of
nature take its course.
I want to set aside the fact that these animals are dead now. Like, I'm not saying that it's not sad, but I just want to look at this from an objective standpoint for science. The man he fucking fought off a leopard and killed it with his bare hands.
Fucking Tarzan.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Wait, hold on. When was the book Tarzan published? He might be the inspiration for fucking Tarzan.
While we're on that topic, though, of museum explorers inspiring fictional characters, could talk about Indiana Jones for a moment. Indiana Jones was inspired by a gentleman known as Roy Chapman Andrews, who worked for the American Museum of Natural History, and many of his escapades were some of the inspirations behind Indiana Jones. There is part of in a book about him. There's a segment of him in a jeep in Mongolia driving away from bandits and firing at them from a moving jeep. There's stories of him rescuing members of his team from collapsed sand dunes and this and that, and so there's just so many cool stories about him and his suave personality. And so he is supposedly one of the biggest inspirations behind Indiana Jones.
Huh.
He's also, I might just add, handsome as goddamn.
Objectively, handsome.
Objectively, of course.
Of course.
So I found out something yesterday.
What?
You know the movie Scream?
Yeah.
Apparently it was inspired by a serial killer we had down here. The Gainesville Ripper.
Oh.
Hey, DA, remember that that memorial on the graffiti wall with all the victims' names on it? It says "Remember."
Yes.
That was those were the victims of the Gainesville Ripper, and that serial killer was the inspiration for the movie Scream.
That is. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I also sent you a real good photo of Roy Chapman. That's beside that, though.
Wait, on Facebook. Stop sending me shit on Facebook. I'm doing
I didn't send it on Facebook. I sent it over Discord.
Oh. I was like, I have screen capture up. I can't. Oh, that's why I'm scrolled like all the way. Holy wow.
He's a handsome lad, ain't he?
Hold up. Boop boop boop.
He's a handsome lad. And there's also a couple other stories of him like bringing in random wild animals from the Mongolian wilds as pets, like vultures and foxes and shit.
Is that a thing?
I could see him hanging from a rope bridge, yelling "Kali Ma, Kali Ma," and sending a tribal cultist to his death.
Okay, first off, how do you get those animals past customs?
Customs wasn't what it was.
This was
what
back
it is
in
now.
But this is back in Carl Lakely time. Like he was born in 1884 and died in 1960.
Can you imagine the fucking the TSA officer? Like, can you imagine her face if you just bring in a fucking vulture, like a live goddamn vulture?
This is my friend.
This is my anxiety vulture.
This is my
This is
emotional
my
support
seeing eye vulture.
My emotional
Is it eating
support
that
vulture.
child? No. Oh yeah.
That's my emotional
Henry.
support. I need that.
Henry, get off of him. Get off of him, please.
Here's a mouse,
Oh,
Henry.
jeez, I'm sorry.
Here's a mouse. You brought live mice into the fucking airport too? I'm like, dude, Henry's got to eat.
I'm sorry. He does this from time to time. He just gets a little excited. It's okay. Down, Henry, down. Meanwhile, he's ripping into a kid on the floor. Vultures are really cool, though, by the way.
Dude, we have turkey vultures here, and they're so fucking cool to watch.
I haven't seen a turkey vulture in a hot minute.
They're wild around here. Oh my god, they fly. They're so beautiful when they're flying.
Although then again, it's because it's fucking winter. So in the summer they'll come back.
But don't come down here. They're fucking everywhere. They're almost as common as goddamn bin chickens down here.
Bin chickens.
Bin chickens.
What are bin chickens? That sounds like an off-brand like Walmart chicken nugget, like bin chickens.
They are off-brand Walmart chicken nuggets.
So you know ibises.
No.
They look like storks with like really long beaks, really long.
You forget. I'm not a zoophile. That's the whole reason why you invited me onto this podcast.
I that word sounds creepy. Can we not use it? Can we just say
animal lover? Would you prefer that? Animal lover, animal.
An animal connoisseur.
Oh.
God. Connoisseur. I mean, connoisseur makes it sound like we're eating them and not fucking them, which is
yeah.
Oh, you want me to say animal condorasaur?
I think the word you're looking for is savant. A savant, an animal savant.
I am an animal savant.
Connoisseur definitely has like a Hannibal Lecter.
I'm a connoisseur.
A Jeffrey Dahmer kind of a vibe to it.
I ate the bin chicken with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
And a nice Chianti.
And a nice Chianti.
God, fuck you.
Wow.
Can't even English right.
So anywho, a bin chicken.
I don't think it's an English word.
No, it's not. That doesn't mean that she can.
I mean, who's to say English is really 3 languages dressed up in a trench coat? So what is really English?
That's fair.
So,
but anyway, I sent a photo of a bin chicken to the chat.
Hold up.
Bin chickens are ibises native to Australia, and you know how people call pigeons rats with wings around here?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, seagulls. Seagulls is a much more apt comparison. People call seagulls rats with wings.
Okay.
They basically behave the same. They'll come right up to you and like nab food out of your hand.
Yeah, ibises look like seagulls with plague doctor noses.
Well,
plague doctor gas masks on.
See, our ibises don't have the black heads. Our ibises are just white, but we still call them bin chickens.
America's ibises.
Our ibises got proactive. No more blackheads.
Our ibises are quite pretty. But when you head to Australia, their ibises are kind of ugly.
They're the trashier ibises.
Yeah, they're like the meth heads of the ibises. They're like the meth heads of ibises.
Meth head ibises.
How dare you judge these beautiful animals? Next on Maury.
Are you kidding? The ones in Australia, they just like take fucking syringes they find off of heroin. They just inject themselves with bin juice.
Bin juice. But yeah, ibises aren't as popular in Australia as they are in America.
Clearly.
They and so bin chicken is a common term for them.
What were we talking about before we got on the subject of bin chickens?
We were Fuck.
We were talking about the tall glass of water that used
we were
to.
talking about Roy Chapman.
Yes,
He's
that's
hot,
the one.
though, right?
I mean, from a heterosexual objective standpoint, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, okay.
He pulled down quite a bit of ibises.
Oh,
Maybe a koala or two.
Maybe a cooter or two.
A cooter or two, yeah. Got to bring that full circle. Pay off that joke. He probably specialized in cooters.
Oh my
he was
God.
a connoisseur of cooter.
He's a cooter sewer.
Oh,
Now that doesn't sound Dahmer at all.
cooter sewer. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Our next topic.
Now, speaking of hot guys,
How the fuck are you
hippo
gonna
reproduction.
say this? Oh no! I do you remember like early on we changed hippo reproduction because DA made a joke about Chernobyl and I said fuck hippo
Oh
reproduction.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's talk about Chernobyl instead of hippos having sex.
We're gonna keep it on the sexy topics. Today.
Hold on, guys.
Gonna go right
Drag
to
racer's coming through.
Chernobyl.
Hold on, drag racer. Okay.
It'll give me enough time to Google.
That just sounded like indigestion.
What, the drag racer or Chernobyl?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So we're gonna be talking about Chernobyl, which I believe most folks know what happened there. Nuclear reactor went, and lots
What
of
year?
people.
Or what year, bud?
1986. You're going to have to edit that out.
Yeah. I figured out.
Now we have post, motherfucker. This is your fault. This is your fault. We have post now.
Why did you spend $100 on an editing program? Because I made a 2-second mistake.
Yes, exactly. Just like what happened in Chernobyl.
Ow. That tied in too well.
That tied in way too
You know
well.
what? You know what? That was. You know what? Whatever happens, happens, and it was worth it for that segue.
It was a beautiful segue.
It's a beautiful segue.
Well, I mean, the Chernobyl, everyone has a bad rap for it, but I mean, it's like super evolution. You know,
Yeah.
how else are we going to get the X-Men?
No, I was gonna say, you're not wrong, and then you brought up the X-Men, and I'm just like,
guys, 4,000 people died. I don't think we should be joking. Sorry. Okay. All right. So it was a horrific disaster that happened, and there still is the massive exclusion zone around Chernobyl, where radiation above the average levels across the world will exist for thousands, if not millions, of years. But
mutant puppies.
Mutant puppies. See, the wildlife has moved back into Chernobyl in recent years.
Because wildlife is more badass than humans.
True, and it was an exposed area. That wildlife, I mean, there's no people there, so why not move in, you know? And the entire ecosystem, even up to dominant predators, is repopulating itself at a kind of alarming rate, considering it's only been it's been less than 40 years since Chernobyl happened.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe they develop superpowers.
I don't know. I mean,
Like Rampage, the movie, was based on a true story.
Rampage. Oh, there was a fucking wolf in Rampage, right?
Yeah.
I think there was a wolf, a crocodile, and what was it? A gorilla?
A gorilla. Yeah.
Also,
Or a spider monkey.
You motherfuckers have never played the game.
An orangutan.
I was going to correct him. Rampage was based off a video game.
Yeah, I know. I
Brother,
grew up in the 90s, so yeah, I played Rampage.
Dude, me and my brother fucking loved Rampage.
That was a common game for me and my sister.
Yeah.
Like we fucking loved it. It's so fucking fun.
It's a game where you can destroy an entire city. I mean, that was the fun before Grand Theft
people.
Auto.
And eat people.
And smash people. Yeah, that was fun.
and smash people and destroy shit.
Yeah, that was the torture simulator before Sims and Grand Theft Auto.
That was every kid's dream. Every kid wanted to be Godzilla growing up, right?
I wanted to be Spider-Man, but okay.
I wanted to be Simba.
We know. How are your sessions going? Has the doctor made any progress?
Well, I mean, I'm getting the ears next week, but the tail is going to be a little bit.
Oh my God.
He was talking.
When she brought her cat home with the lion cut, I was just. I felt so bad for that cat. It just looked at me and it stared into my soul and it said, "You could have prevented this.
You could have saved me."
Hey, Tracer's getting another fucking lion cut here shortly, actually, because it's like 80 fucking degrees out here.
I feel so goddamn bad for your cat.
Dude, he's got an entire fucking winter coat, and it is 80 degrees out here. This poor thing, like, he just sits there
and he lives in air conditioning.
No, he doesn't. We don't turn the air conditioning on. They charge us too much for it. We just have a box fan.
Well, then just shave his whole goddamn self. just get rid of the whole thing.
My baby looks wonderful with a lion cut. You guys shut your whole mouths.
Okay, all right, we're going back to Chernobyl.
Speaking of less of a disaster than the lion cut.
Back to Chernobyl. So the pretty much entire ecosystem has already restructured itself from insects and birds all the way up to top predators like wolves, with an abundant prey source such as deer and boar. And so scientists are now, I mean, not only slightly concerned, but also starting to look into it, because it's kind of scary just how quickly they're coming back in. And so Chernobyl, wildlife, I'm Googling right now, mutations. And so let's see. While I'm Googling this, you guys keep our lovely audience distracted.
We'll edit this out in post. It's okay, Joe. Take your time. Take your time, Joe. We can edit all this out in post.
Now that we have post, thanks to fucking me.
You have to do post now, motherfucker.
So anywho, with what's interesting about Chernobyl is the fact that down in the basement of the reactor there's a giant fucking lump of pure radiation radioactive lump. It's called
Use your words.
It's called the elephant's foot. All right.
Dear God, this lamb is pudding. This lamb is. It has like 8 legs. Dear Lord.
I don't think that's from Chernobyl.
Chernobyl mutations. If Google says it's true, obviously it's true. All hail our Google overlords.
Google overlords.
So anywho, the elephant's foot is actually interesting because it's very dangerous. Any person that's ever been near it has died.
Horrifically, in fact.
Yeah, horrifically.
So was it like an actual elephant's foot?
No, it's
It looks like a big melted blob. Kinda.
It does look like a big melted blob. Here, hold up. Boop. Let's go back to display capture. And
oh God.
Yeah, that's the elephant's foot right there. Look at that. Okay, you see that guy right there? He dead. He's super dead.
So poetic. He dead.
He dead.
Joe Schmo, he dead.
Alright, you see this guy photoshopped sitting on their Chernobyl elephant foot? He dead too.
The guy who was photoshopped, like if you photoshop yourself next to like
that's how powerful it is.
Foot, you die. Is this like a ring thing? Like the elephant foot comes out of the TV and calls you or texts you and tells you you're going to die in 5 days?
7 days.
Well, actually, it's gonna die. You're gonna die of.
Look at that.
You're gonna die of
So
radiation-related cancer. And
this picture right here, you guys look at this fucking picture. Look at that. That guy, that is radiation coursing through that guy's body. Like, that's an actual photo. That is not photoshopped at all. By the way, that guy right there, he dead.
Was he stricken by the photo bombing?
The Photoshop.
The Photoshop.
Oh, I know
elephant's
YouTube.
foot?
I know you two didn't see it, but the guy that was photoshopped on there was Randy Jackson, I think. I'm like, oh, he dead.
so I'm looking at the results now, and after in the following couple years following the event in Chernobyl, there was a massive increase in mutations in livestock in the surrounding area, and it seems like in the exclusion zone, wildlife may possibly produce fewer young and have be less fertile. However, more research would need to be done in order to 100% confirm.
All those researchers, they dead.
Yeah. They straight up dead. That's the really hard part.
Such reverence. Such reverence. Their sacrifice was not in vain. Hashtag they dead.
They did.
I'm just looking at like a dog or a cow with a mouth on the side of its face, and that is horrifying.
Wait, send that to me. Is that like a Silent Hill dog?
I have no idea.
Wait. So apparently Chernobyl also had a lot of stray dogs that survived the fallout. And I'm reading this now from Spot.co. Visitors to the area are advised to avoid petting the pooches to minimize radiation exposure. Fuck you, I'm petting that dog. I don't care if I die a couple years earlier.
Alright, you see this idiot petting this Chernobyl dog? He did. There's a picture of Bud getting licked by a three-eyed dog from
yeah, that's a serious that's some livestock birth defect right there.
There's a picture of Bud getting licked by a three-eyed dog, like out of the side of the dog's mouth. And be like,
a livestock. What did you say? A livestock birth defect?
Yeah.
Or as they're known in Alabama, a brother cousin.
Whoa!
Roll Tide.
Alright, hold up. No, wrong one. Right there. Wow. Is that a Chernobyl livestock?
I think so.
It's possible.
Oh my god, that poor thing.
The almighty Google says it is, so it's obviously true.
Well, the what's the word I'm looking for? It didn't survive. That's not an animal that can live, unfortunately.
But did it make it into a hamburger patty? That's the real question.
If it's Chernobyl, would you want to eat that radioactive hamburger patty?
I mean, hipster is gonna hipster.
Bud? Yeah. That's DA we're talking about.
That's fair.
Are you telling me I can't eat that? I must eat that now.
Our man of extraordinary culinary taste.
I ate at a Hooters once. Clearly extraordinary.
Yeah, trust me, chicken wings were the only thing he brought home that night.
Jesus Christ. Did you say chicken wings weren't the only thing he ate at Hooters?
Yeah.
Get it, DA. It definitely had a cooter at Hooters. And cooter at Hooters, and I didn't get chlamydia.
Hey, there you go. Good job.
Oh my god!
I'm just gonna. If we had post, I would take the time to Photoshop a turtle, a cooter onto the head of a hostess Hooters. Or server at Hooters. But unfortunately, we don't have post, so I can't grace you with that
Well,
beautiful
guess
beautiful
what?
image.
Unfortunately, we do have posts now because you jackasses have said my fucking name.
So, hey, DA, go use your Photoshop magic to make that shit happen. I will put it in fucking post. Fucking
So
watch me.
we gotta have posts now. So who would have thought we only made it to episode 2 before needing posts? I thought we'd do better than this, guys.
Fuck.
I thought we'd do better.
Oh my god.
But no. So our last topic is what the fuck is a fish?
Okay, that's gotta be our last topic because we got like 5 minutes left.
Do we want to just save what the fuck is a fish for next episode?
I think we can do that.
And we'll go to hoofed mammalian predators as a short topic. So fun fact.
You are not doing hoofed mammalian predators as a short topic. You can fuck yourself.
Okay, all right. Then I guess we'll just wrap this shit up.
We'll wrap this shit up. We're at 55 minutes right now.
Oh fuck!
I just said we have 5 minutes.
Will you cut out?
I'll get a micro. I'm
We'll
getting a
edit
headset.
it in post. We'll edit it in post.
I'll get a headset next time.
Cool.
All right.
Well, this has been Animal Bites featuring River, Bud, and now DA.
I hope you fucks learned something because I sure as hell didn't.
You didn't?
No. Everything we talked about, I already knew.
I think we learned something about the value of friendship.
Oh my god! Shut the fuck up.
And how much of a goddamn.
It sounds like a Care Bears epilogue. I'm getting
He's getting the touchy feelies.
Yeah. I'm getting
Get in,
the
losers, we're going
touchy
carry.
feelies in the shame no zone.
Alright, well, thank you for coming to Animal Bites. Y'all come back now, you hear?
God.
This episode will be uploaded after River gets post.
Yeah, now you have to edit out your own name. You fucking. This episode is going to be titled "We'll Edit It in Post."
Animal Blades 2, Cooter Boogaloo. We'll edit it in post.
Edited in post. Cooter Boogaloo. Okay. Animal Bites 2, Cooter Boogaloo, edited in post.
No, parentheses, we'll edit it in post.
Parentheses, we'll edit it in post.
Featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry.
Feet and Knuckles.
Oh my god. Alright, kids. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Alright, everybody, we'll see you next week.
Y'all have a good one.
Say bye, DA.
Goodbye.